I'm Simon Ward of the triathloncoach.com, and John Levison thought it would be a good idea if I could give you a narrated commentary of the Ironman Austria course. Now, this is the race I'm going to be attempting to complete in 2.5 weeks, and I know that it's a very popular course and race for athletes from the British Isles. So maybe you're going to Ironman Austria, maybe this will help you prepare for race day. So I'm just going to go over the course and a few little details that I learned from doing the event last year. So I'm going to disappear from view now. You're going to hear me talking as I discuss parts of the event itself. So let's just widen this out. And this first thing we're going to discuss is the swim course. But before we do the swim course, let's just talk about what you want to do on race morning before the event actually starts. So I found that if you were travelling by car, that this Minimundus place was the best place to park. You are going to have to walk over the canal here and down to the transition, and you'll see that the transition here is in a different place to the start of the swim over here. So this will take you about 10 minutes to walk there and back, and from here through the park and down to the race start area it will also take you 10 minutes. So if you are parking, I found the best thing to do was to park, drive over here, do the prep on your bike, walk back to your car, and then down here to get ready. Okay, now let's have a look at the swim. It's a rolling start this year. You do get a chance to do a warm-up, and that's in between these two pontoons. Okay, this is taken from the 2014 the 2015 map, but I think basically you're on the beach here. If you go down a couple of days before to the Lido and go in here and have a swim, you'll see where all this is laid out. There are 3 main pontoons. Okay, it's a left-handed course, so you will set off from here. I think they're doing a rolling start for age groups, so you'll just be seeded according to your predicted swim time, and you'll be setting off in maybe groups of 10 or just in groups of a few self-picked people, if you like. Who knows what it's going to be like, but we'll find that out in the race briefing. But there have been several different styles and formats of rolling start. So you're going to go off here, you're going to swim out, you're heading up the lake. The sun will be behind you, so you'll be okay here with good visibility. Keep the buoys on your left. It gets very busy over here, but who knows what it'll be like with a rolling start. You've got about 1,000 to 1,200 metres of swimming to get to this first big turn here, and it's a left-hander. You'll then swim for a few minutes across the lake before you turn back in. Now, one thing I would suggest that you might want to try and do is to go for a swim out here before race day and find out some landmarks on here, because you're going to be aiming through the boats that are moored out in the lake and down past here into this canal. Okay, so for 3,000 metres you're going to have a nice clear swim. Okay, there'll be people around you, and when you get down to here after 3k, it's going to funnel in to a channel that's about 20 metres wide. It's not that deep, it's deeper in the middle and the sides. Depending on the number of people around you when you are swimming through here, you may find it difficult to make forward progress. You may also find it difficult to see because the silt will be getting churned up off the bottom. My advice from last year's learning is, when you get in here, please just don't worry about overtaking people here. The benefits of drafting are that you go faster and it feels easier. So you're going to lose 20 to 30 seconds in the grand scale of a 10, 12, 14 hour day. That's not really very much, and I would save the energy which you'll be able to use again on the bike. So just swim comfortably down here, stretch out, enjoy the swim. You'll see crowds of people standing on both sides of the canal. You'll be able to hear them cheering, and if you've got friends there, you'll be able to probably see them if they're picked out by different coloured flags or coloured clothes. But you'll come down this channel. Okay, at the end you will eventually make a little left turn into an inlet, and then you'll come up on the beach. You'll run up the side of the big hotel and then onto the road and across the road bridge there and into transition. And when you have gone through transition, I think the bag racks are all down this left hand side here. You come out on the far side, you come out of transition and you turn right and you go back down to all the crowds. So all of this side of the road here will be 3 or 4 people deep, and you go down to the end here. You've only ridden about 50 to 100 yards. Paul Kay will probably be down there, the commentator, cheering you on, shouting your name as you go over the timing mat, and then you turn around there. So whatever you do, you don't want to be fiddling around with your shoes and going into the barrier here, because that's embarrassing. There's lots of people. You're then going to go out there and you're off onto the bike route. And so here I have my plotting of my Garmin from last year. So you might have seen that I have this tirade about Garmin's at the moment. However, one of the useful things is you can collect data. So if we show the data here, you'll see my various speeds throughout there. I think I averaged about 30k an hour, no, probably 32k an hour for this whole ride. I averaged about, it says 174 watts there, but it was a stages power meter, so that was probably more like 195 watts. You'll be able to see, if I hide that speed, this is the elevation. So we do 2 laps. This is about the start of, around here is the start of lap 2. Okay, so if you watch on the screen here, when I go over here, you will be able to see the you'll be able to see the marker. So here we're going down the lake. Okay, you can see that we get down to Velden. We go through the outside that little town, we come inland a bit and we make a right turn. And there's a little climb up there, not much, you're probably gaining about from 448, so you're gaining about 80 metres there, but it's not that steep. Then it's flat again around by there, there's a little bit of a climb, then you've got a nice long bit of dual carriageway. Then this is where the first major climb comes. You do a left turn at a roundabout, and it's going to go quite steep. You're going from 495 to 620, so you're gaining about 140 metres in the space of not very far, a couple of kilometres, if that. So it's quite steep. You'll be in a small gear. My advice is don't give away too many watts at this point. Yeah, you're going from 32.4 to 30, so in 3k you're gaining 200 metres. So don't give away too many watts this week. Here, you're going to then turn inland and you've got a bit more climbing, but it's fairly shallow. Then you've got a lot of descending there as you come back round to the end of the loop, and you can see we come back down to, we're coming down to Rossegg round here now. Okay, there's a two-way stretch here, so you'd want to be careful of other riders coming up the hill, and I have heard about accidents there. Then you're going to turn inland and you're going to make a little bit of a climb, not that steep. Then you're descending a bit, and then you come round that sharp corner just here, and this little spike in here is the St Egdon climb. That's where all the spectators are. There'll be lots of music pumping out. It's easy to get really excited, but this is not the Ruperti Bird climb. That comes after a little bit. This one is only about 200 metres long, so you could get really excited there, think you've done it, go over the top. You've got a bit of a descent, and then we've got this one here. Look, you are going to climb from 530 up to 680, so you're going to gain 150 metres there in the space of 2 kilometres. Okay, so about 7, 8, 9% climb. It is quite steep. Not if you live in Yorkshire, but if you live in Lincoln or somewhere. But when you get to the top of that, that's the highest point. You can see then you've got a lovely descent down the other side, and then there's a few little spikes, but after 76k, you are pretty much descending for the next 10 kilometres. So this is like a ski run. You can get into a good tuck position, you can really get aero, you'll be travelling at 40 to 50k an hour all the way down here. The roads are super smooth, and you'll really enjoy this. There's a couple of sharp turns, not too bad, but just have your wits about you, and then you come back down here, back into Klagenfurt, and as you can see from the marker, we're round to start the second lap here around 90k, where you do that little out and back turn that you did at the start of transition, and all your friends will be able to see you there. So these are the 2 big climbs I would be concerned about. This first one here, 3 kilometres from 32.3 to 35.8, so 3.5k. And this one here, 63 to 65, so 2k. So Those are the two big ones. There's some other little climbs in there. There's about 2,000 metres of climbing over the whole. Actually, it said it's actually 1,400 metres of climbing over the whole day, so not too bad. And it comes in two major climbs, so pretty fast course really. So make sure you get comfortable with being aero. Let's just talk about the run. The run is pretty flat. Not much to talk about. Let's have a look at this map here, if we can. This is the Ironman Austria Run. So you're going to run. It's a little bit squiggly. You come out of transition. You are going to run around the park, around the back of the finish line, and then you're going to head out. You're going to do all this squiggling. You're going to head out by the lake and by the railway line. Then you do a little bit of squiggling around here through some park area. You do a loop around here, come back by the railway line, and then you're heading back, and you've effectively done about 10 or 12k by the time you get back to the park. You then weave your way through the park, and you head out all the way into Klagenfurt. It's a bit convoluted as well round through the town. You've got a couple of underpasses which, when you're tired on the second lap, are gonna sting a little bit, but it's only a few metres of climbing. It's just a surprise. Then you run through the town square. Well, there'll be lots of people, if it's a nice day out, drinking and having fun. You turn around here. Do not make the mistake of jumping up and ringing the bell. That won't make any sense now, but when you get there it will. The idea is that you go through the town square, and as you go past the bell, you jump up and you ring it. I can tell you that when you've got tired legs, some of you will land and you'll cramp up. So I won't be doing that this year because I made the mistake last year. You then head all the way back down to the park, and when you get down to here, you do this little sort of twisty bit as well through the park, and that's it, and out to start your second lap. The killer comes at the end, because when you're finishing, this is the finish right here, but actually you have to run past there, round the little lake, along through the park, away from the finish line, and then I think that's it, there you go, past the finish here, yeah, and then you have to turn away from it and run all the way down there, and then you finally make your way in and come to the finish here. Okay, so that's it. It's a fantastic course. This is a beautiful lake. This area around the lake is beautiful. If you're staying anywhere around here, make an attempt to go and have a look at some of the sites. You'll have a fantastic time in Austria. I'll be out there too. I hope to see you. Please come and say hello. But for the moment, that's me. I'm back. We've got 2.5 weeks to go, so let's all enjoy the taper. We'll have a good time, and then we can have a few beers out in Klagenfurt. That's all for now. See you soon. Bye-bye.